Alright guys, my name is Metagoblin. Today I'm just making a very quick discussion video today. I've had a few hospital visits and health issues this week, so that's why I haven't been able to upload this much, and this is about all I can fit in. So today I'm just really going to be talking about some of the issues of Classic WoW at the moment, how for a lot of people, not everyone, obviously this isn't really an issue for everyone, particularly the Horde probably, but obviously the game right now is becoming a little bit frustrating and virtually unplayable, and that's what we're going to be discussing in this video. But just before we jump in guys, please do give me a quick follow on Twitch. If you want to catch me in my live streams, I'll definitely be streaming more in a couple of weeks when I finally get my splint off and I have a bit more functionality. But anyway, so let's jump in. I'm going to get on the Flight Master and basically I'm going to fly to like a contested area like Florian Point, just to show you, you know, the issues basically. So there is obviously some massive server imbalance on a number of servers, particularly on when it comes to EU servers. Shazra EU, the one I'm on at the moment, is very Horde dominated, and this is obviously becoming a bit of an issue. Obviously some servers are probably Alliance dominated, but more so Horde servers are mostly Horde dominated because most people play Horde because of the racials and just generally because they like the Horde, I guess. Obviously when Phase 2 was released there was some actual benefit to killing people in an open world PvP environment. That's, you know, obviously the process of grinding honour, grinding ranks up and then getting gear. So there's a huge benefit and a huge advantage to grinding honour at the moment. Everyone really wants to grind their honour and people are relentlessly killing everyone in sight basically. I'm not normally on that kind of person, to be honest. I know you know, because I play a rogue, you might think I'm an ultimate like ganker, but in all honesty, I'm more of a pacifist. To be fair, when it comes to the open world, I'm just more interested in stealthing and running away and trying to get to my dungeon. And because everyone is dying in the open world on a server that's really imbalanced, it can be very difficult to actually get to your dungeon. If you look at the area right now, you won't be able to see players because they're high up and everything. But even this road into you know, Blackrock Mountain from the back. If I ran on that road right now, I guaranteed to basically die 3 times, even as a rogue. To get from Florian Point, which I'm going to show you today, it's at least 10 corpse runs, probably, just to get to Blackrock Depths or Upper Blackrock Spire, something like that. And, you know, every time you die, you can move like another, like, what, 50 meters if you're lucky. So sometimes I like res and stealth and sprint, and I still get instantly killed. Obviously that is largely frustrating, and the problem is obviously there's not a lot you can do about it. The situation can only get worse. Obviously everyone's experiencing this issue, everyone is getting really irritated by the fact that their server is so imbalanced, and what generally tends to happen is, well, people re-roll server, don't they? And the issue is that instead of the population of the Alliance side on my server, or, you know, other servers out there, instead of the population of the Alliance servers increasing, they're just over time going to decrease. What has actually happened is they've actually taken away free character migration from my server for the Alliance, so Alliance cannot move, only the Horde can move. Obviously that's put in place to basically maintain the population of the Alliance side of the server, and hopefully deplete the side of a Horde, because the Horde would be getting annoyed about not being able to find enough people to farm, whatever. But the issue is that that isn't just fixing it at all. In all honesty, like, if my server, if I could still like transfer for free, I probably would transfer to free, because one of my friends has gone over to one of the servers that he can transfer over to, but it's literally just been totally blocked for the Alliance. So basically I'm in a situation now where I'm just basically stuck on this server where I can barely move to my dungeons, can't move to my raids. What I should do is, right now, I'll show some background footage. This is like me and my raid just trying to get to Molten Core. Every time we go to Molten Core, there's probably about 3 raids waiting inside Blackrock Mountain just to wipe us, because obviously it's a really good opportunity for the Horde to get honour. What they'll do is they'll spy on us. They'll probably have literally recruited Alliance players through Battle.net, through Discord, kind of thing, to spy on Stormwind particularly, because that's where obviously you get the Onyxia buff, and where a lot of people meet up to go and do Molten Core and stuff like that. We literally have people spying on us basically, and they'll know exactly when we're about to go into Blackrock Depths, because there'll be 3 raids waiting for us. We generally do have more luck with Onyxia's lair. Let's see if I get ganked. See, right, every time I get off a flight path, this is another issue, I'm instantly ganked. So not only can we get to raids, we can get to dungeons. There is a number of flight path locations like Florian Point, Chillwind Camp, Light's Hope Chapel, which are totally contested by Horde players, and it literally becomes even impossible sometimes to just go out and do your quests. It's much easier for me, a little bit easier anyway, because I have stealth. Like in this situation I could probably get away. Like if I moved over and just kind of tried to stealth res, I could probably pull it off. But like still, like it is sometimes impossible to get away from Horde players, and it must. I really feel empathy towards people who don't play Rogue, because it must be just extremely difficult. Like I can stealth res here and I should be okay, since Spy was nerfed. Yeah, so I'm safe now for the time being, but like getting to Blackrock Depths right now is going to be a task and a half, I can tell you that, and it's honestly not really worth doing. I mean, as you can see here, there are people just waiting on the direct route into Blackrock Mountain, just waiting to gang people, whoever gets away. It is literally impossible to even get to your dungeons right now, and the issue is, you know, it's just getting worse and worse. This is like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, I just got back from hospital. I had to get up really early today. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm even noticing that about this time, like there would always be at least 10 people online in my guild. It seems like my guild obviously are still actively raiding and everything, but it feels like people are less motivated to log in to do kind of like non-raiding content, and people are just kind of only really want to log in to do the raids, because you literally cannot get to a dungeon. You know, people don't want to be doing dungeons and stuff like that, because it's just so frustrating to actually get to a dungeon in the first place, and you'll probably spend, in some cases, equal time getting to the dungeon than actually spending inside the dungeon. I have not even attempted to go to Dire Maul, because Dire Maul I know is an absolute well, it's just absolute chaos even before the PvP system was introduced, and yeah, I've just not even bothered to go there. I don't think it's even worth it, in all honesty, because, you know, towing corpse runs just to get into Blackrock Mountain is insane. I mean, hopefully when Battlegrounds are released and people have an alternative method to farming honour, like by going into an instance battleground, this situation will slightly improve, but in all honesty, don't think it will that much, because farming honour in the open world and queuing for Battlegrounds at the same time is a really good way to, you know, to farm on honestly, and like wiping raids, you know, killing 40 people in a space of like a few seconds with sapper charges and arcane blast and all that thing will farm a ridiculous amount of honour. So in all honesty, like, I don't know what to do. First of all, my injuries restricting me from playing the game as it is, so like I can't really be bothered putting like loads and loads of time into Classic WoW. I do feel like a little bit burnt out on it, to be honest. Well, I don't feel burnt out. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things I can still play and enjoy in the game, but the issue is I can't do it, because the only time I can actually move to a location is with a raid, to do a raid. You know, when it comes to doing dungeons and stuff like that, which is, if I wanted to log in and chill doing some dungeons or just doing anything really, I literally can't do that, because it almost feels like it's so restricted and suffocated in the open world, because you just can't get any freedom or any movement, and you just can't move around. I couldn't even start to farm gold from epic mounts, so I'm kind of stuck there as well. In honesty, like, if it doesn't get any better after Battlegrounds are released, I probably will re-roll onto a more balanced server, or I might even re-roll Horde, to be honest, because I know Horde servers are always going to be more populated, and I do like the horse races anyway, so it really depends, because obviously that will be a huge time investment. I think I will probably switch to playing Classic WoW on a more casual level. I will have to anyway for the next month or two, because I've got this splint on my hand, like I have done for the past few months. Well, one month, sorry. So yeah, it's a difficult one. Like, it's even come to the point where I'm kind of so bored of playing the game. I've actually started playing some really old games. I've started playing like old Harry Potter games on PS1 and PS2. I've started playing Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2 as well, you know, just casually, a couple hours a day, rather than actually logging into Classic WoW, because, you know, it is just very frustrating. There's not much you can do, because you just can't even get to your dungeons. But anyway, I think I've like gibbered on enough right now. I think I've made my point. Like, hopefully it will get better, you know, and I don't blame like anyone for it. I don't blame, you know, the Horde for doing it, because, you know, it is really just the nature of server gameplay. Like, when you release an MMO that has servers, then this issue is always going to happen. Like, it's an absolute shot in the dark when, well, it was a shot in the dark when Classic WoW was released, and it was something I was very apprehensive about. I was thinking, you know, what happens if I roll on a server, you know, I spend all this time getting to level, like, what is my slash played? If you have a look at my slash played, this is how much time I've invested into this character. 17 days already. I've played on my rogue and I've invested that amount of time. That's a ridiculous amount of time. That's probably more time I've spent on Skyrim, which is an individual game, you know. That is just one character, and you know, I've invested all this time and I've ended up on a really imbalanced server. I was always apprehensive about this, you know, before Classic WoW was released. What if I spend all this time and then I end up on an imbalanced server and have to re-roll? And unfortunately, it does seem like that is the case, because this server is extremely imbalanced. And that's the issue. Like, obviously there's a lot of benefits to like having been on the same on one server, you know, the whole realm system, because it's you obviously see the same people out in the open world, and it creates a better community and all that, rather than, you know, your MMO going down more of the route of Elder Scrolls Online, where there's like one, you know, entire server that everyone's on, and there's just individual channels on it, and obviously like how there's cross-realm stuff in retail. It's kind of like a double-bladed sword, really, because obviously having cross servers fixes the imbalancing issues, but also kind of ruins the game as well. It ruins that sense of community. So I don't really see that much of a way to fix it. It's almost impossible. The only way I can really see to fix it is like if Blizzard had a system where the balance system would be like, say for instance, the population of Alliance Horde is 50-50, but then it starts to go to, you know, 40% Alliance, 60% Horde. At that point where it gets to about 10% imbalance, you basically stop new accounts, stop anyone making basically stop a new account from rolling on the Horde. So say for instance, like a new account logs in and they want to play in Shazra Horde, they literally can't, unless they already have a character on that server and they're making a second character, because obviously it doesn't matter if you got two people with one person with two characters on the same server, because it can only be logged into one at a time. What I would do is I literally stop people from making Horde characters on a Horde server, you know, a server that's massively overpopulated of Horde. That's the only way I can see it, like, this kind of system being fixed, but obviously it's way too late for a system for that to be in place, and obviously it wouldn't be very, you know, it wouldn't be very true to, like, can't find the word, wouldn't be accurate, I guess, accurate to like how Vanilla WoW was, you know, originally, and obviously a lot of people would moan about that, because, you know, people don't want too many changes to Classic WoW. But that's actually the only way I can see it, like literally restricting people from making characters on a faction that is already overpopulated. But like, that system should have been implemented pretty much straight away. It should have been implemented, honestly, on the pre-character creation system, where we could create our characters, you know, before we could log into the game. They should have stopped people from making Horde characters on my server when it got to a certain point, so that it kind of ensured that the servers would at least always be, you know, 40% or 60%, rather than it being pretty much, at the moment, look, I'm just getting ganked. Like, does stealth even work in this game? Honestly, does stealth even work? Anyway, it would, what was I talking about? Yeah, it would stop there being severe imbalances. Like, I would say Shazra right now is probably 20 to 30% Alliance, whereas Horde is easily going on like 70, 80%. So, yeah. But anyway, I think, yeah, I've definitely ranted on long enough. Now I'm going to end the video. My name is Metagoblin. To my next video. Ciao.